our wintry storm system dropping some snow in high elevation areas. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mackenzie Lake here with a look at our full Thursday forecast. So take a look here. This is a live look out at our broadcast peak camera. We're picking up on just a little bit of snowfall. Today's one of the coolest days of the extended forecast, and that causes snow levels to drop down to about 3,500 feet, right around broadcast peak level, right around Lake Cachuma level as well. So if you are heading out in those high terrain areas, expect to run into at least a rain-snow mixture. Here's a look at live storm tracker radar. So along the beaches, we're seeing those clearer conditions in Atascadero, San Luis Obispo. A lot of our northern communities, we're seeing that action earlier, but now we've subsided just a little bit. Here's a nice cell system moving right over Los Alamos. You can see we're picking up on some deeper, darker shaded greens and yellows there. That's indicating some heavier rainfall at times, but these thunderstorms and these showers that are developing, they're moving so quickly that we're not actually picking up on too much measurable rainfall. Ventura County, we're staying nice and dry currently, but again, in the Ventura County mountains and some of these high elevation areas, we'll likely add a few inches of snowfall as we head into the afternoon hours. Let's take a look at what we've seen rainfall total wise as over the last 24 hours. You can see here northern communities got the most amount of rainfall. We were pretty close to that 3/4 of an inch mark, or even closer to an inch mark in some areas just north of Point Conception, but as those showers tracked further down to the south, they lost a little bit of steam. You can see by the time those showers made it to Summerlin, Santa Barbara, Ventura County, we got closer to about 1/4 of an inch or a half an inch here. But now let's take a look at what we're tracking over the next few hours or so. Again, we're not going to add much as far as measurable precipitation, maybe another 1/10 of an inch or so, but again, scattered showers expected. Take a look here, 10:30 in the morning. We have a pretty big storm system that's just going to clip Point Conception, but as soon as that arrives and develops, it clears out pretty nicely. Here's a look at 2 p.m., picking up on some activity in interior portions of the central coast here. Paso Robles, San Luis Obispo might see a little bit of rainfall here as well. Then now we're starting to pick up on all that snowfall in those high elevation areas. 4:30 p.m. that's when we're going to be picking up on some stronger winds as well. And then you can see as we head into the overnight hours, we're just in the wake of this cold front. We have these northwesterly winds, so it's really inhibiting a lot of this precipitation and moisture availability. Heading into our Friday, we start to see those skies clearing out beautifully. We start to see high pressure building in, and that means a nice warming trend for us. Before we talk more about sunny skies and warmer temperatures, I need to talk about winds here. It's going to be a very blustery day. So surprisingly, we don't have a wind advisory issued by the National Weather Service, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did have a wind advisory issued later on this afternoon. Take a look here. These winds are holding steady for a majority of the day. This is our wind gust model here, so south-facing beaches will be impacted the most. Ventura County coastline will be impacted as well. Most of those winds holding into that 20 to 30 mile per hour range. Again, as far as sustained winds, it'll likely be around 15 to 20 miles an hour. And then as we head into the overnight hours, you can see those high terrain places of the Santa Ynez and Santa Barbara County mountains. Those winds really start to crank up. But here's a look at temperatures for the day. So cooling off significantly. It's one of the coldest days we've seen this entire winter season. We're only maxing out into the 50s for the south-facing beaches. Sweater weather kind of day here. Damp and drizzly start to our morning, but clearing out nicely by the afternoon. We're maxing out at 54 in Santa Maria, 53 there in Orchid. Take a look at overnight lows, definitely on the cooler side compared to what we've seen these last few weeks or so. Some areas dropping close to freezing, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had some frost or freeze alerts going into effect, especially with this most recent rainfall. We'll likely have some areas of fog and low-level clouds developing overnight into Friday morning as well. But don't worry, because we get a break from this rainfall heading into our weekend before another round of rain arrives later into next week. Have a good one.